Hello and welcome back. This is The Summer Fun Massacre by Craig DiLouie, and this is the slasher season, book 1. And I'm excited to share this book with you. Let's talk about it. So this is the story of Deputy Tom Bailey. He was a teenager when a massacre happened in 1983 at the local summer camp by the lake, which his girlfriend was the only survivor of. It was the event that led him to become a cop and reshaped the small Texas town forever. Now, in 1992, it's the night before the summer camp is finally being reopened, and the teen counselors are all ready for the kids to arrive in the morning. Acting on a hunch, Tom decides to check on the camp and finds all hell has broken loose once again. Craig DiLouie is a writer of innovative horror novels, several of which I've reviewed here, like episode 13, and most recently, My Ex, the Antichrist, amongst others, Children of Red Peak. I think there's been a few more than that as well. I really enjoy his books because they always play around with traditional horror, genres and tropes, and then tend to combine and explore these in new ways. They always feel sort of fresh and like that, he's playing with things and trying things, and so they, even though they might have traditional elements, they're never boring and they're never just like a rehash. This book is a little thinner than some of his other books, but it is part 1 of a duology titled Slasher Season, which will conclude with Yule Day Slaughter later this year. Though this is a 2-part story, it doesn't end halfway through the story. It is complete at the end of the book. So, you can read this as a standalone. The cover of this book, oh my God. If you look a little closely, it's styled at the edge to look like a VHS tape, and the cover design is reminiscent of 80s horror films. And if you know your 80s slasher films, you will have already had your ears prick up at summer camp, by a lake. These sort of themes will be kind of familiar to you. The book is structured around the idea of telling the story of a slasher movie from a new perspective, that of the local cop. It's Scream from the perspective of Deputy Dewey, or maybe more accurately, Sleepaway Camp or Friday the 13th from the perspective of a young local officer. Deputy Tom Bailey grew up in the small Texas town where this is set, and he knows the local stories about a creature in the woods, but he's a logical man, so the plot functions a bit like a mystery, with him following leads and trying to find out more, while his boss hopes it all goes away quickly because it's an election year and he's the sheriff. He needs to get reelected. So that's kind of your backstory, but they keep finding body parts. I really like this, though there are times towards the end where you might wish that Tom would at least consider the supernatural. It does allow the story to develop in a way that allows for us to find out more about the local legends, the secrets of the town, kind of has that mystery. And I felt like it allowed for the killer to be evil from beyond the bounds of human understanding, or a serial killer. Like, either would have worked as a resolution here and would have been a really good twist, So I like that. When I saw the cover for this, and especially when I saw that there was another season to follow, like winter following summer, it reminded me a lot of the covers of point horror or Fear Street books from the 90s. And I wondered if this was going to be the start of a series that revolve around seasonal things, which wouldn't really be Craig DiLouie's normal style, but I mean, he tries different things. Yeah, to be honest, I felt a little sad that there was only going to be 2 books in this series. So yeah, maybe I just need to dig out some old paperbacks from my shelf. Did any of you guys grow up on, R.L. Stine or Christopher Pike or point horror or, Fear Street? Any of those books? I love them. Anyway, the story takes us from the night of the killing and what Tom Bailey needs, and then into his investigation of the case. Over the course of the book, it takes us back into past events at times, and it explores, what he finds, what he uncovers, him chasing down the clues of the case. So the summer camp of the cover and the title are a motif or focus of the book, but most of the book does not take place at the camp. It does take us into the lives of Tom and all the different people in his department, all of which feel well-rounded, different. I love that when characters really feel alive, you know? We also have two final girls, both of whom are written to be more than just victims. And I love that they can swing between, you know, terrified and strong. I feel like sometimes when that kind of character is written, they're just like, you know, strong or terrified. But like, I feel like people are complex. You can be both at different times, you know? The pacing in this book is so good. I read it almost in one sitting, just sinking into the small town atmosphere and going along for the ride. I love slasher stories, so I mean, for me, I was here for this. There's a lot of different characters and plot threads and little pieces of the puzzle that slowly come into play or fall into place. It just keeps you turning those pages. And there's some quite gruesome kills and crime scenes that are horrific enough for any 80s VHS horror. So it's quite a cinematic read on the whole, which I think is really obviously the point. But yeah, it's good. This book is such a good time for classic horror lovers. It's great. And yeah, I, for one, cannot wait to read the next book when it comes out. I think it's coming out around September, maybe September, October kind of time. So, I mean, that will be perfect, right? Yeah, so if you love 80s or 90s over-the-top slasher horror movies, or, you know, like paperbacks from that era, so horror paperbacks, I think you'll like this one. If you like Craig DiLouie, you'll like this one. It's definitely, you know, if you're not into horror, it's, you know, going to be a little bit creepy and maybe not your thing. But yeah, I kind of loved, just has a vibe that I liked. And it was like reading an old school slasher, but just kind of, you know, taking it in a different direction, doing some new things with it. So yeah, it felt it hit all the right tropes for me, but it felt fresh as well. So I had a great time. Yeah, thank you to HBG Canada for the ARC of this one to review and share with you guys. Yeah, do you like slasher movies? Are you into that kind of thing? I feel like personally, you know, the older slasher movies are so... I feel like personally the old slasher movies are so over the top that they're more creepy than scary, and I kind of enjoy that, you know. I do like a scary movie or a scary story, but I do like it when it gets cheesy as well. That's just as good. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on that kind of thing in the comments if you'd like to. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me.